Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. I'm Lilla and today I'm here to talk about knitting, what I'm working on, what I recently finished. I basically started my Christmas gifting and I wanted to film this video a few weeks ago so it wouldn't be such a large gap since my last video, but I got some noise issues. My microphone recorded sounds what I was talking about, but it had like some technical problems like static noise, like every 10 or 30 seconds there was some strange like beep noise or whatever, and I understood since it is repeating every some period of time it would be really annoying for a longer video to have it, so I decided that I need to refilm it. But yet I went to visit in Lithuania to go to my cousin's wedding, then my family, parents came to visit us here in Denmark. So I didn't have a chance in the last two weeks until now just to sit down and talk again. So I had some, which was last time I wanted to film would be more like plans. Now I think it's sort of in progress, so maybe it's even more interesting to watch and talk and chill. So hopefully you will enjoy this video. So let's start. And let's start with what I'm wearing. I had this idea of, I think since last year, that I was knitting this yarn. This is Gjestal Extra Fine Merino. Gjestal Merino Extra Fine. This is superwash wool, and I chose this yarn to knit baby knits for my cousins. My both cousins became parents last year, so around Christmas time one baby was 6 months old, another one was 9 months old. So I both knitted them baby bear suits by Pernille, Larsen, knitting for Olive, and I chose superwash wool since it is for babies and I was unsure how parents want to hand wash them, but this felt like a nice yarn, and one of the baby knits was in this color, and I was just holding it against my face and just, oh, this is I think my color. I think it really matches well my eyes, and I really wanted to knit something. Another inspiration for this top was that I was around, I don't know, a year or so into some Korean dramas, TV shows and etc, K-dramas, and I really liked like mock or turtlenecks. I felt like they looked so elegant. I didn't had a turtleneck I think in 20 years because I remember from my childhood that they were strangling me, and yeah, but I thought that they are really elegant, so I decided to knit it. And I decided another problem I had sometimes around Christmas time, I want to wear my knits to go to eat Christmas dinner, and then it's too hot and I need to take it off. Knits I have, and I thought that, you know, woolen top which you can layer maybe with cardigans would be a really practical thing in the winter time. Just, you know, throw something on and then throw something off, so you can just adapt to the well heated rooms and not have really ugly t-shirts underneath your knits and then be too hot to wear your knits but too ashamed of taking them off. So I decided to knit this, and now I really want also to knit from this yarn a matching cardigan. I think this would be so totally adorable, so good I think for the office too. I work from the office because apparently as IT people you cannot do your job from home, you should go to the office, but I have really good lunch deal, so it's basically free lunch and free breakfast, so I'm sort of happy with it. But I need to go to the office, and even in IT we don't need to dress nicely. I enjoy dressing nicely, I enjoy presenting myself beautifully. Some of my colleagues, especially in Norway, would come in with t-shirts which would have holes in it and, you know, jeans or whatever. They do not care that much, but I care and I look beautiful, and I think this top will do this, and I think it looks professional, it looks nice. Oh yes, I didn't mention, so this top is, so I had this idea for the top I had the yarn I wanted. So when I was testing earlier this year for Lilla France, for knitting committee top, which was really adorable top, and I was able to select after finishing that test knit 2 other free patterns. I selected tonight top since I decided not to improvise my own top if I can knit by the pattern, which was almost exactly what I wanted, except that it was for thinner, I think, fingering weight yarn, not DK weight, and I think this is basically DK. I think 21 stitch gauge, I think, on this one I have, and I think the original pattern is maybe 426, so I needed to go down a few sizes, and I also wanted 0 positive ease, so around 0, maybe a little bit negative, maybe slightly positive, but around 0, I don't remember now. And I also need to block it, but since last time I filmed it, because this top almost needed only binding, I decided, yeah, just to put it down. And I was traveling. I think, yes, I had time if I would put it in my mind, but I didn't prioritize it yet. So I think it could look even maybe better with relaxed stitches. I think maybe it was around here or around the armholes. Maybe if it would relax, it would feel better. Maybe stitches would be even nicer playing down. I don't know. But yeah, it needs good blocking, soak in the water, and etc. So basically I would need to knit the tonight top in the correct gauge for maybe correct positive ease, or maybe I would be size 4. So I was really lucky that I was able to go down to the size 1 and basically knit it. Of course I had to do some modifications, like less rows to knit, because it would be really long armholes. So that I needed to recalculate. I also knitted with less stitch these edging is around the armholes, so they are double knitted. I think they look beautiful, but I think maybe a bit bulky for my yarn. This is why I think it really works well with the designer's choice, with fingering weight yarn, because on my, I think maybe armholes are a bit, I don't know if I love them or not, and I think if I don't love it, it's my problem that I was using a thicker yarn that it was designed to, and thicker yarn looks even thicker on the double knitting. Who would thought about it? But I really love with the neckline. I think it's really comfortable shaping. This is all for Lilla makes. She also added nice shaping, short row shaping around the shoulders, so I think that it lays nicely. She also really writes nicely. I never done short rows in double knitting, so it was apparently easier, and since I done less stitches, so I done less times them, but they were really nice and it was way easier than I thought. And I think without her, like writing in the pattern how to do it and adding visuals, I would probably never try it and would just hope that it works, and then of course it wouldn't form as nicely. So that was also real nice. I might also, I think that was my addition. I changed, since I bought this pattern, and I think I was knitting or joining in the round on the plane, and it was the main pictures were in black. I didn't see that it was like here in the sideways, it was like a chessboard pattern, or at least I will call it. It was just 2 columns, and you know, just knit like blocks of 4 stitches or purl 4 stitches, and just going like the chessboard with knit and purls, and going down by 2 stitches, so height and width. And I was unsure if I like it or not, and it was, as I said, I was on the plane without internet, I didn't know what to do, so I decided to just do a maybe dumber version of it, but just make a few like go mini rip in both sides to add some accent on the sides. I thought that it could be fun, it could be more interesting than just plain stock knit. In a way it also gave me, I don't know how other people join yarns, because I feel like every time I join the yarn it is seen, and I just hidden and I understood that I hate that it is seen, because usually your ball of yarn would end, I don't know, in the middle of the boob and you know, attach another ball, and then you would always see that area. I noticed on my other knits, I noticed it when I knitted for my boyfriend. So now I decided that don't be, if the yarn is ending, just attach a new ball on the sides. So I think all these sides, I think one of them is hiding more, maybe here I can see more balls were attached to each other. So I think it is not as seamless, and this is why superwash, I don't enjoy that superwash yarn that much, because of the real wool, you can just split splice, you can felt them together, two ends, and it's one of the most secure, most invisible joints of two balls of yarn. And here I needed to attach a lot of, and I had a lot of endings to weave in. But I overall really happy with it. I think it looks nice. I think the first time I burned off, I was too lazy to attach new balls, so it was like half of the ribbing, and I was really missing that half, and it felt like too short, not disbalanced with the neckband. I think neckband, did I knit it even? I think I knitted 4mm needles, 3mm needles, or even smaller. But yeah, I think it turned out really well. I'm really happy. As I said, I believe that it looks really nice with my, I think like this is my color, and I really want a cardigan, but I've decided at first just wear it off, see, do I like it, not like it. I have yarn for other knits I want to knit, so maybe finish those first, and then if I enjoying this, wearing this yarn, and I still want, I would knit myself a matching cardigan, so maybe for the next year. But another thing was for this yarn that is also cheap, it's drops, and yeah, for the baby knits. I'm talking, now let's talk about another finished object, my socks. Second pair of this year, second pair in, I know, in 20 years, not 20, in 15 years, so my second pair of socks. 15 years ago I knitted 3 pairs of socks, and they were DK weight, and they were bulky, and they were way too big, even for my fathers, for the men's foot. So I was really, didn't enjoy neither knitting them nor wearing them. They were falling off everyone's feet, like they were that big. But I knew, like, how to knit socks, or at least I knew, done it before a few times. So yeah, this year I started knitting socks again. I decided that I wanted to start knitting them, and I bought this yarn. This was it? Yes, God. All yarns, all designers will be linked down below. I also put all information in the Ravelry. I will leave the color codes and etc. So I'm sorry that I don't remember this yarn. I knitted with. It was on the discount when I was buying last year the yarn. It was maybe 3 colors left, and for the socks you don't need to match, that your socks would match, I don't know, your color scheme or whatever. It was fun, and it was for me to buy a sock yarn and just remember how to knit and try to knit and see, do I enjoy knitting socks or not, and try more elegant socks, not DK weight. This was why I really wanted fingering weight. So I enjoy knitting these socks. Should I try? But yeah, I also enjoy this color. I think sweater in this color would be also beautiful. And I think those two colors also quite matching nicely. I don't think that I would ever think about like dressing in both of these colors, but then I put it together. I feel like maybe they're, I don't know, those color values or hues or however they're called. I think they have like similar, different color, but like maybe intensity or brightness is the similar, like darkness or whatever, and I think they match quite nicely. I think they would be adorable together too, but I don't need, would it be nice in color work? I don't know, maybe they would like. But yeah, so I knitted these socks, and this is Dear Björn socks by some Scandinavian designer. I don't remember the name, and I think I didn't frog them. I didn't swatch for the socks. I decided if my leg is not fitting, I can just frog it. It's not a big knit. And another thing was they were toe up socks, and I decided to knit them together. So of course, frogging became a bit more labor intensive too with this pattern, etc. And I always checked that I can put them on, and I can. See? And I think they're beautiful socks. Can I rotate my leg? I think the cuff is a bit on the shorter side, and one of the reasons is because when I put them, when they are on the needles, or they were on the needles, they are way longer than when I put on my leg. But I don't have any hand knitted socks, so I don't know how long socks I prefer. I don't know. Is this, not long enough? Or maybe it will be perfect with my autumn maybe shoes. I decide that it will be that they almost maybe invisible, or just like small line of them is beautifully visible, or maybe it will be just good length. But when I was knitting two of them, it was quite easy to knit the bottom half, because you have like stockinette stitch on one side, and in the front we have these beautiful cables going in one direction, and then on another sock on another direction. So while I was knitting on the foot, it was easy. Then I knitted the both heels. This was first time ever knitting toe-up socks, and I quite enjoyed the process. It wasn't that difficult, but of course I wouldn't be sure if I know how long foot I want before I do those increases in heels. And then I think this stitch pattern is not the most, is it flexible? Not flexible, stretchy. So it's not the most stretchy one, and it's not the easiest to put around the leg. So I think only 4 stitches are increased from the bottom part to the top. And then I started knitting, and I think at some point I was not able to put the socks on, and I was knitting I think with 2mm needles, so then I frogged it around the heel and then switched to 2.5mm needles, so only this part was knitted with 2.5mm needles. Now basically I was almost forgotten that I changed needle size. I really liked how delicate on 2mm needles they look like, and I don't know if you will see or not the difference between 2.5 and 2mm needles, but I think I can see it, and I think 2mm were a bit more maybe delicate and nicer looking, but it's way easier now to put on the leg. And I changed the ribbing. The ribbing is supposed to be twisted, I think, and still continue slipping some of the stitches, I think, going above those. But I can just do simple one. Oh yes. Now I see that I tried, I think, on these socks for the first time in my life, a surprisingly stretchy bind off. It was quite easy, and it is, the top is not restricting me. And I think for this one, I think I wanted to do the same thing, but then I just found a bind off in the pattern for 2x2 rib, and that worked really nicely, because the surprisingly stretchy includes those like pearl. For me, they looks like pearls on the knitted stitches, and I'm quite enjoying. And and for this one, I remember on the bottom I started doing the same bind off as for these socks, and I just know it looks different. I done something differently. So then I was going through history and finding what I actually follow up. So it was interesting also to learn more like bind offs for the different ribbings, and I quite enjoy how this surprisingly stretchy worked bind off. And I need also block these ones. I also didn't do that yet because I was hoping that my colleague will 3D print sock blockers, but either he forgot or he decided that I'm asking too much. So I was like, oh, maybe I will get it. Because now when he said how cheap it is to 3D print things, of course it is really time consuming, but it is cheap in the like labor, in the plastic, how much they use. It is a bit more difficult to buy sock blockers, and you know that they could be cheap too. And I didn't knit that. This is only the second pair of socks in 15 years. So do I need sock blockers? Maybe that could be a gift. And it was really interesting. I also learned a lot with these socks about these doing small cables and moving in one side and another. One side, I think this one, I was able to do not even without cable needles, but even without rearranging stitches. And for this one, I needed to rearrange stitches, because if I was not rearranging, I think in the first 2 rows, when I started, it doesn't look as plump as, you know, all other stitches, like in another direction. Because, yeah, I didn't need that cabling needle to do these cables, but I needed to rearrange stitches to going leaning this way and not this way. I forgot which ones. And should I just look this, maybe right leaning I needed and left leaning not. And that reminded me some other knitters talking when they were knitting. Was it Petite Knit's Ingrid sweater? And they there had those diamonds, I think. And one person I remember at once who said that they are managing to do way more nicer looking leaning lines in one side and not in another. So if you want to practice that stitch pattern, like left and right leaning mini cables, these socks are really good and they're really fun. And yeah, maybe I should swatch or knit a bit bigger of these socks. But they turn out fine. I quite enjoy them. And as I said, maybe not cuff, the leg part maybe should be a bit taller, but at the same time, maybe they will be perfect. I don't know, but I'll enjoy it in hand-knit socks. I just knew that I wanted finger weight socks. I really would like to do some white ones with ruffle. I think that looks so elegant. It's so impractical, but so elegant. I think Petite Knit has a pattern for it or something like that. But yeah, my second finished object. And then I had some yarn order. I will show you the main thing, the main box. This looks really beigey, greyy, boring box. But I already took the more colorful ones, because one of the plans, my knitting plans, are for my cousins' babies, because they sent me pictures of wearing the first Christmas gifts, so now they deserve like second-year gifts. And if we are following up, I don't know how long I will knit, because when the boys will become older and older, their gift knits would become bigger and bigger and would take more and more time. But for now, I'm just having almost the best time of my life doing things I wouldn't do for myself, because I like boring knits on myself. Especially I like wearing like one colored clothes. Usually I don't like bright maybe patterns or whatever, but it is fun to play with colors and etc. So my plan for those babies is to knit 2, I'm sorry if this clicking noise, 2 nice bird sweaters. It is Knitting for Olive by Pernille Larsen, I think, design. And I think this is really beautiful. As I mentioned, I am knitting for babies with superwash wool, not because I don't like Knitting for Olive yarn. I never tried knitting with them yet. But because I wanted them for my cousins maybe have easier time washing and be not as precious, like don't ruin it. Because now at least this yarn is quite cheap. I would say at least last year, I think the yarn for a baby bear suit costed as much as the buttons. The buttons were so expensive. But I guess it's life in Norway. So yeah, I really enjoy. I recently made shoulders, and I don't know how much you see, but these shoulder details are so nice because you need to bind off and like pick up stitches again, and I think it was done in such a beautiful way that now it's almost invisible. I really enjoy this neckline, and I used this surprisingly stretchy bind off in the pattern 2x2 ribbing, and it is really stretchy for the baby's head, so I think they will be fine. I think almost I can put my head through. So that's a good sign. It was just mentioned, use I think stretchy bind off. So you start knitting this bird sweater in flat because it's intarsia. This was my first time knitting intarsia. And in intarsia, how you change your work with the colors, you need to go back and forth, so you couldn't knit in the round. So yeah, you knit top up for the shoulders and then top down for the bottom. Then you sew the sides together. Pick up stitches for the sleeves, pick up stitches for the neckline, and neckline and sleeves are knitted in the round. I was too excited to see like few view, and I think this with neckline looks so adorable, so beautiful. And I'm knitting in size 3 years old, which doesn't exist. The pattern is written, I think, maybe 1, 2, 4, and 6 year olds, and so I'm trying to knit between 2 and 4 because those two babies will be around 2 years ish, like 1.5 years around Christmas and 1 year and 9 months around Christmas time. So I decided that maybe 3 year old size would be the best, like, you know, for this winter and next winter. And maybe 4 year old is way too further in the future, and 2 year old side is just for this, you know, this winter season is maybe not worth my time as much as, you know, for 2 winters to try to knit. But I don't know if it was, because to start casting on it was really easy, because I think the difference between size 2 and 4 was maybe 8 stitches, and stitch repeat is 4 stitches, so I was able to knit, you know, middle size. But then when shaping armholes I needed to choose one or another, because it was just 1 repeat difference in some cases, so it was just more headache, I think, than it was worth. So maybe for the next baby I should knit just size maybe 4. But yeah, so this younger baby will have baby brother too. I'm so excited for them. But for now, the parents didn't ask me for anything when I said maybe new baby they want something for the new baby. So I was thinking that now probably the new one will not get anything. And in the future, I think it will be maybe inherit like this sweater, the new baby too got to wear. So maybe for one of my cousin's babies, I can wear, knit the right size for this like winter, and then, you know, 2 kids can wear it, so it is like again double the seasons. But yeah, I think this is adorable, and I'm knitting it with Drops Merino Extra Fine. I plan to knit with this yarn, and I plan to knit with these colors too. So last year when I was knitting baby gifts, I checked that I think they had almost the same gauge or using the same yarn for baby bear suit and this sweater, so I decided to use the same yarn. This yarn worked for last year's knit, so I decided that it should work for this year's knit too. So I knitted those 2 baby bear suits in these 2 colors. I think this was it navy blue? I think by the color codes, no, I don't know. So okay, this color I think was 37. Was it forest, misty forest or something like that called? So that greenish color. So the blue, I decided that I just select one blue because I think this should be lighter blue. This is blue tinted design, but I decided that I can just use the same blue. Nobody cares that much, because it's still, this bird is not as bright in the real life, or not these colors exactly, and they have a bit more, I think, interest. I was, so yeah, I already had like leftover yarns for these 2 colors, and then I needed also buy black, white and yellow yarn. At first I think I was looking for like lighter yellow, but when I was snip cutting those yarn swatches from one website and putting them together from main Drops website and seeing the color scheme which looks better, I decided that, you know, this yellow looks better. But I think maybe this yellow, this blue is a really like main primary color, and I think this more misty foresty green is more like muted, so it is a bit less pop in your face, but it is also nice. I think the bird turned out well. And yeah, this was my first time doing an intarsia. Apparently you just need to twist the yarn so you wouldn't have holes, and that's almost it. But it was really annoying when I have, at one time I think I have maybe 6 balls attached, and it wasn't the easiest. And I think the more annoying thing was even when I needed like 3 times the main color, then I needed like twice blue color, and just once for one line I needed blue color, and I have only one ball and I was already attached it, so I rewinded my ball. I bought a binder, so I rewinded so I could take a central pull too, just a small, less than a meter of that yarn to use it. And I'm pretty proud of myself that for the bird, I weave in the ends, because also weaving in the ends helps to close up if you have any holes and etc. So I feel like I enjoyed. It wasn't that difficult. I feel like I put all the yarns like in the order I need to use them, and then then I understood that I cannot just twist and twist the knitting too, because then the yarns also get wrinkled if you move too much the knitting part too. So yes, I would twist and then knit, and I would like make it like the new color go through the bottom or whatever. You twist those yarns, and then I just put into the right order and like put those balls and rechange it. So it wasn't that difficult, but I felt like I need to put like a lot of balls of yarn in front of me, and I wouldn't be able to do like train knitting, for example, going to work. So now today it was the train knitting. I done a few rows in the train today when we went for sort of house hunting, but we feel like it's too early to put to bid on something. At the same time, if we would find something really nice, we should probably. That's because they go quickly, good options, and then bad options are stay forever. But that's future as problem. And yeah, so I can do it now. Like what is left it is train knitting, and I think I'd done bird in 2 evenings, but I felt like it was quite intense, and then I needed to, and this was also my first time to do some embroidery. I forgot how these stitches were called for the beak and the legs, and on the eye it was 2 names, and was I think spider web, and another looked like rose, and I thought that maybe it's a bit too big, too much, too plump, but I think it looks good. I think overall it's turning out quite nicely. Maybe my bird leg is a bit too robotic looking, not that flexible, but at the same time, I don't know, I think it looks quite charming. Birdie. So I was unsure, do I love Antarctica? Because I didn't mind, but I'm neither dreading doing it again, because I said doing twice, don't play favors with my cousins and their babies. Even actually I have the favorite one, but I want to keep contact and relationship with both of them, so that is quite important to me. It doesn't matter, that one was, in the childhood was my best friend, and another one was, fun to play with too, but one was best friend. So it doesn't matter, because I want to keep them both in my life. I want to that our families would be friends, so that is more important. And I decided to knit the same thing. So don't play favorites, or that if one knit would be way better than the other one, so they wouldn't be, oh, but I wanted that one, especially with kids. So I decided that having almost the same thing just twice would be way easier. So another boy will get yes, I don't know, I bought 6 balls, I think the main color, and I'm unsure if I really need that much, but another boy will get this grayish color. So at least the backgrounds will be different. And I think the last year I've by accident I think gifted this green one baby bear suit to the boy who has maybe even more green. I don't know about his eye color, I don't remember now, but I think he is more warm toned and it suited him better. And another cousin's baby was like blue-eyed, and he got the blue baby beard suit, and it matches him like so nicely. I think he has a bit colder undertones, so I decided it will be really nicely for both babies, but matching them even better. Okay, now they're toddlers. I'm sorry, they're not babies anymore, they're toddlers. But yeah, and I think this, I will have more and more leftovers of this yarn. So let's show you some colors. So yeah, color white, Latour, I think it was natural white, black color, I think there was number 1, number, I checked that I have labels for color number 1 and number 2, so I think those were number 1 and number 2. And it was so funny, I weighted them before and after, and I think some colors like white or black was weighting the exact same as before, and actually not 50 grams. They were weighting 49 before and 49 after, so it was less than 1 gram it went into the bird. I don't remember which color, maybe white, maybe black, maybe yellow. No, yellow, I think it was even more used up. And then yellow, so I guess from the labels, maybe yellow was color coded 30 or 51. What was 51? Maybe 51 was a beige. Ooh, I can check. So the beige one, 51, beige color, yes. And grey beige, greige, I think this was actually called greige or no, I don't remember. This color 7. But yeah, so I think then by the labels that this was color 30, because this was color 37 and this is from leftovers. This is also from leftovers. I have this way more of this color leftovers actually, because I knitted this one too, and I think I had, so I have from the first knit, I think I have almost 2 full balls, and I think from the second knit I have 1 full ball and another semi-full, only I know this much knitted out of it. So for the, but they're from 2 different dye lots, and I think original, like the first color was a slightly greenish, and I think my top is slightly more blue tone leaning. So if I'm buying yarn for my cardigan for the same color, I basically need to order the full skeins how much I need for the cardigan, because they have different dye lots. So I don't know what I will do, but I'm collecting this yarn actually, like in leftovers, different colors. I think for all the future babies, probably friends' gifts, they will get knits from these yarns, these colors, maybe color works. I was thinking that in the end, to finish up all my colorful yarns, maybe do like those festive sweaters where you have like different color rows, like silk roller yokes, or yeah, something like that. Just do something really fun and colorful and later on, but for now I can play with with, I know, beautiful designs, with some color work, maybe do actual like more, is it Fair Island called? And this is because this is an Intarsia technique. I think I liked Fair Island technique more than Intarsia, but maybe because I just knitted it once, and actually it wasn't that different. It was, I think in a few cases there are imperfections, but I think it turned out pretty well, if I can say it myself. I don't see any big holes. Or maybe this one is not beautiful because the black yarn is almost too seen. Oh, I don't like this one too. How I've even in this end. So yeah, maybe I should re-weave in this one, because I usually try to do weaving ends with the colors I already used in that row, but I was thinking, oh, this is not seen, and now I can see this black yarn, so I need to redo it. But yeah, so I decided that this is my playtime yarn with color works and baby knits and etc. gift knitting, and at some point I will start needing to do more as finishing up, because I think after this knit I will also have quite a lot of balls of yarn left. So something fun. So now I'm seeing the ideas, like I saw like I think drop shoulder baby or knit with different color of it was even the color, like not normal color, and then ribs in another colors. I think that could be also fun, just introduce, especially I think for kids sweaters. Don't do them boring because I think the kids will enjoy them more if they are fun to wear, etc. They can still be I don't know, still look good. So now, as I said, I don't like how I done it, so I am forcing myself to redo this. Yes, the bird needed to be fixed a little bit. So there, I think once I failed doing color work and then I fixed it, but then I had like one extra stitch in the main color around here. So I needed to twist it to catch so it wouldn't be like double size that thing. So I think that is forming like small hole because it shouldn't be like this and it doesn't look like nice. I was thinking maybe go back in and just fix it like double stitching and whatever. And I decided that they are saying that there should be like imperfections so that the soul or demons could be run away from the knit because you put your soul into it. And I just decided that the babies will enjoy the sweatshirt one way or another. They do not care about that small detail. And I think that this is shoulder detail is really beautiful. Oh yes, so let's move on further. I maybe stayed way too long with this and we can clean the view, so it would look nicer. And move on to the rest, my work in progress knit. And this is actually sort of finished knit, but I don't know, maybe I will want to frog it. So I bought also this Gjestal Garn Førbi 100 polyester yarn. At first I was thinking about buying boucle yarn, but then I talked with my mom and I decided that, hey, she's a little bit allergic for the yarn. My brother is also allergic. I think it is for the wool. Maybe it is lanolin in the sheep's wool, so maybe alpaca wouldn't annoy their skin, but I wasn't sure. So I decided that plasticky yarn would be a great idea for her couch covers. I will add a photo I visited while knitting this one to see how it would look like on the couch, and I think it shows that the couch had like fake leather, I think, coating, and that fake leather goes now crumbles down and looks really ugly. So my mom wanted some solution for it. I think I still have some pieces stuck in this blanket. So she wanted some solution. I said, hey, I can knit you. And she said, but I don't want a knitted thing. And I just knitted another thing. She said that she doesn't want to see the knitted fabric. It may not look nice. It's just, you don't need to see the knitted fabric, even if it is knitted. So I decided to knit her cushion covers. And it is the way I want to reknit, because it's not centered. The slit, because at first I thought that I needed the slit because it has like on two legs those cushions are standing, so I decided that you need to put it on, and then in between those two legs of course you need some empty hole, because you cannot just knit in the round and then put it on. You needed to through those two legs, but I didn't thought about that, how to put it on while you're putting it on, like the cushion through this hole. It's not that easy, and I think I was able to put it on with this way because the cushions are soft and I was able to squish and shug it in. But I think that I want to make it more, I don't like this, that is not symmetrical. So thinking for now I'm leaving them this one as it is, because this is like my measured thing, which I know that it works and it was fitting in. So I think I will try to knit a second one. It was almost one ball. I bought 6 balls of this yarn, and I don't know what I will do with the leftover one. This is a really fun yarn to work, and I think it's 8mm needles. I also needed to buy needles. Yes, so they are 8mm needles. Yeah, this yarn, it is quite fun yarn. It looks like a little bit like, I think, a row of the one carpet. So you could, if you want to knit or crochet a carpet, I think this is the yarn to do it with. Because it is so nice and so fluffy and so adorable. And I imagine this as a cardigan with like normal yarn edging, like simple merino edging, and the fluffiness of something like this. This would be nice too. And I think for my mom, who's allergic to the yarn, and I'm not the biggest fan of acrylic, this could be a yarn I could knit her a warm sweater, because it's still air insulation is what makes yarn wools warm, really warm. And I think natural fibers have way more, because I know the fake, okay, the fake plastic yarns like acrylic, I think they have just way more sleek threads, and those sleek threads doesn't have as many air holes, so it is way colder than like real wool, because the sheeps needed to insulate themselves, so they to really produce a really nice fabric which you can weave in, and then it has a lot of hidden air pockets, so it is really nice and insulating. So I think this one also fakes a little bit more with fluffiness, could be warm and nice. And my mom really liked it, and she probably would ask me to leave it, but I needed at least one example, how can I make others? So my plan is to make 3 of them. She has 3 those 3 cushions she needs to cover, so I will use at least 3 balls of yarn. And I didn't like, because when I was putting on the cushion, that it was a bit too much seam in the middle, and when I split in half, I cast on one more extra stitch, so I decided maybe for the next one increase 2 more stitches, so in the middle it would be lay over a bit more. But yeah, and I think it was a little bit seen, that stockinette stitch and purl rows, I can see the difference in fabric, even if they are such an adorable knit. It's so fun. I think that's really fun. But yeah, that is what I'm knitting right now. That was the yarn order I recently ordered, and I hope you enjoyed this video. After knitting these things, I want to knit something more for myself this year too. I think that is almost it with my gift knitting for this year. I may start something for my boyfriend, but I don't think that I will finish anything this year, or at least this is not a plan. He said that he wants like Harry Potter scarf, but he wants with Ravenclaw coat of arms, and I mock some design, but there is so much you can do with knitting and color work when you have limited amounts of stitches, and I don't want to knit a scarf with way too many stitches, like with finger and weight, or even thinner than finger and weight yarn, just to make the coat of arm look really delicate and nice, because then all the leftover after the coat of arm would go really slowly. So I was designing for this yarn, and I don't know if he would want it, and buy those attached things, they are really expensive, and for Ravenclaw, half of them are actually quite ugly. So I don't know. So the idea is maybe to buy him a scarf, maybe to plan him a scarf and then knit it, maybe try to embroider like mini, I don't know, cross stitch, and then attach, like make myself something to sew on, and then knit a simple scarf. So yeah, we'll see with it. So as I said, it is not decided yet. I don't have yarn for it. I don't know. I think it will be way more important to knit some sweaters for myself this year too. Like a red cable sweater, because it will be such a huge gauge. But I am afraid that I will not have so many options now to wear it. I'm too afraid that my office will be too hot and everyone will not dress in nice wool sweaters, so we will have a hot office and I will not be able to wear it that often. We'll see. I really want fingering Christmas sweater, but that is also maybe another fingering, maybe simple red. Okay, not simple. Maybe a Beatles sweater. The pattern I got, the second pattern I got from Lilla, France, Desnet. Maybe in the red color. I think she's so the main photo I think in this color is. So maybe something like that, and also wear it for the Christmas parties this year. That could be beautiful too. But yeah, those are my ideas. These are like, you know, future autumn knitting plans to get ready for Christmas, to give people stuff they hopefully enjoy wearing it and love it. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!